2 in the morning. Your dog is standing in the hallway, completely still. They're staring at a blank wall with intense focus and start barking. Not at the door, not at a window, at empty space. You get up, groggy and annoyed, and check carefully for anything unusual. There's nothing there. No sound, no movement, no visible cause. You tell your dog to stop. They pause briefly, then bark again. Same spot, same intensity. No hesitation, just pure fixation. You stand in the dark, confused, wondering what's going on. Is your dog seeing ghosts? Losing their mind? Messing with you? Veterinary behaviorists, canine sensory researchers, and neurologists agree on this. Your dog is not barking at nothing. They're barking at something real, something you simply can't perceive with your human senses. Once you understand the gap between your perception and theirs, it changes everything. That barking stops looking random. It starts making perfect sense. It's a response to stimuli that exist, but are invisible to you. Let's start with hearing, the most common reason people overlook. Human hearing ranges from about 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Dogs hear from 40 Hz to 65,000 Hz. That's more than 3 times your upper limit of detection. In practical terms, your dog hears sounds that are silent to you. The ultrasonic squeak of a mouse inside the wall. The high-pitched hum of electronics through shared walls. A car door closing 4 blocks away. A bat echolocating outside. Even a failing phone charger emitting a frequency you'll never notice. All of that is loud, clear noise to your dog. So when they bark at an empty wall, they're often reacting to sound. A 2014 study from the University of Cincinnati confirmed this. Dogs not only detect ultrasonic frequencies but locate them accurately. Your dog knows exactly where the sound is coming from. That's why they're locked onto one specific spot. To them, it's obvious. To you, it's invisible. But hearing is only half the story. Smell plays a huge role. You walk into your home and it smells normal to you. Your dog walks in and detects a complex scent profile layered in time. The pizza you ate 3 days ago still lingers in the air. The detergent from laundry last week is still present. A stranger walked past your front door 2 hours ago. They smell it. A rat died in the crawl space last month. The odor remains. Your neighbor had pest control yesterday. The chemical trace is strong. All of this is readable, distinct information to your dog. Humans have about 6 million olfactory receptors. Dogs have up to 300 million. The part of their brain processing smell is 40 times larger than yours. When your dog fixates on a corner and starts barking, they may be smelling danger. A rodent trail along the baseboard, a slow gas leak under the floor, mold growing behind drywall, an animal that passed through the yard. They're not hallucinating, they're responding to real chemical signals. There's also a visual component few people consider. Dogs have more rod cells in their retinas than humans do. Rods detect motion and work well in low light. This means your dog sees movement in near darkness that you'd miss completely. A shadow shifting as a car passes outside. A spider crawling slowly across the ceiling. A curtain moving slightly from a draft. To you, nothing is happening. To your dog, something is moving. And movement equals potential threat in their survival-driven brain. Add to this how dogs process flickering light differently. Research shows dogs detect flicker rates in LED lights and screens. These appear solid and steady to us, but to dogs, they strobe. If an LED bulb is failing or cycling rapidly, your dog sees it. It looks like a flashing light show, disorienting and stressful. Disorientation often triggers alert barking. Now let's add the neurological layer, especially in older dogs. Canine cognitive dysfunction, similar to dementia, causes sundowning. As evening falls and light fades, confusion increases. The dog becomes disoriented, forgets where they are, misidentifies objects. A shadow becomes a person. A coat on a hook becomes an intruder. They're not barking at nothing. Their brain is misinterpreting something real. The stimulus exists. The interpretation is wrong. This is common in dogs over 8 years old, often paired with pacing, disrupted sleep, or staring spells. If your senior dog barks at walls frequently, it's medical, not behavioral. A vet visit is essential to rule out cognitive decline, but even young, healthy dogs can be highly sensitive. Some are just wired with lower thresholds for sensory input. The same sound or movement another dog ignores sets them off. It's not pathological, it's temperament, and often breed-related. Herding breeds, terriers, guardian dogs were bred for vigilance. Humans wanted dogs that noticed every small change. A dog alerting to predators or vermin was useful on a farm. In a quiet suburban home, that same trait seems excessive, but it's not overreaction. It's the dog doing their job. Vigilance is in their DNA. They're built to detect anomalies. Now let's talk about what happens after the bark. This is where behavior gets reinforced, often by accident. If your dog barks and you get up, walk over, check, talk to them, you've just rewarded the behavior, even if unintentionally. From the dog's view, barking made you come. Barking got attention. Attention is reinforcing, so barking becomes more likely next time. If this happens often with no real trigger, your response maintains it. The fix isn't punishment, it's non-reinforcement. Let the bark happen. Don't react. No eye contact, no words, no checking, no interaction, zero reward. Over time, if barking doesn't produce results, it decreases. But here's the complication. What if they actually detected something? If you ignore them every time, you're teaching them you're unreliable. For anxious dogs, this increases urgency. They bark louder, longer. They escalate because their warning isn't being acknowledged. So balance is key. Respond once. Check calmly. Be thorough. If there's nothing, acknowledge the dog briefly. I see you, we're fine. Then move on. Don't make a big deal. Don't linger. This teaches two things. I checked. We're safe. But repetitive barking won't get prolonged attention. Over time, the dog learns you're reliable and stops over-alerting. There's one final scenario people find unsettling. Sometimes dogs bark at nothing because they're detecting real danger. Electrical issues, gas leaks, rodents in walls, water damage. There are documented cases of dogs repeatedly barking at one spot. Owners dismissed it as behavioral. Later found carbon monoxide, mold, pests, or a failing appliance leaking fumes, or structural rot behind drywall. The dog wasn't paranoid. They were the first line of detection. Their senses picked up danger long before humans could. So if your dog fixates on the same spot daily, take it seriously. Check for moisture, odors, insect trails, strange sounds. Have an electrician, plumber, or pest pro inspect if needed, because sometimes that bark is an early warning system. So next time your dog stands in the hallway at 2 a.m., barking at a wall, here's what's probably happening. They heard a sound you can't detect, or smelled a chemical change you're blind to, or saw movement in the dark you'd never notice. Or their aging brain misread a shadow as a threat. Or they learned barking brings your attention, and attention feels good. All of these are real. All are biologically plausible. Which one applies depends on age, breed, environment, and your habits. But one thing is almost certain. It's not nothing. Your dog isn't hallucinating. They're not crazy. They're responding to real data in the world around them. Data your biology can't access. The gap is enormous. That bark is the sound of your dog trying to tell you something's there, even when you can't see, hear, or smell it yourself. That's not a flaw. That's biology working perfectly. If this changed how you hear that 2 a.m. bark, subscribe. Drop a comment. Has your dog ever alerted you to something you missed? And if you've wondered why your dog destroys things when you're not home, watch next. The psychology will show you it's not revenge. It's a message you've been missing.